identity, and I know they want and expect this streak to get to 9.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, and none other than Cam Newton.
And it felt like it watching the game tape. He got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Ready? Back to the 3. Watch the run. Twist. Ready?
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
So the big question today is, how will they play in this weather? Because you can recreate moisture, right? You can do wet ball drills, things of that nature. But snow, you cannot create that in practice. You can't prepare for it. You just have to deal with it.
They go with Chubb on second down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Now Newton. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Here comes Cohen. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
I know you saw in your email that the ballots will be coming in after this week's games for league MVP. You've got to vote. I've got to vote. We're getting ready to see a closing argument in this one, though. Can he lock it down?
Week 17, the last act. We're not supposed to say who we're voting for, but I can say this. He's in the stadium right now. So there you go. There's my hint.
There's your hint right there. I'm going to wait until after this one is over. He's got to sway me with one more performance.
17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Now Wentz. That's into the hands of the tight end Leggett. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. And we get a quick peek at the Ravens starting offense.
I don't think it's hyperbole to say that Mike Pouncey's one of the best centers in the league. And to me, he helped usher in that new wave of centers. Agile, able to get to the second level and block people downfield, able to pull like a guard and get out in front of ball carriers, and pass protects really well, helps keep his quarterbacks clean.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And they're a tough unit to throw against, currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one because guess what? They're facing the #1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Todd Gurley with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been in an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission, that's their challenge, and you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now, win the game.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it 3rd down. A look now at the lineup defensively for the Ravens. We know they're going to be tough to throw on, top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. If they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ward. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 40.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Throwing is Newton. It's complete to Williams.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
A first carry now. This is Williams. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 15 carries, 54 yards, and a touchdown.
And when you put the ball in the end zone 13 times on the season, one thing is apparent. You didn't do it all on your own. Offensive line is creating some nice space for you, and you're probably getting some good blocks downfield from your wide receivers.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Newton now to throw. And now he's going to use his legs. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
In the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Newton to throw. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And the ball is knocked out.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Check 6 guys.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Damian Williams, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. No success on first down. He couldn't get any yardage. They give it to him again, and he finds the end zone.
Sometimes it just has to be persistence, doesn't it? And you know who else helps with that? Offensive line. After a team's been stuffed, the last thing they want to do is go to a different play call. They want to come back and do it again and show that they can dominate the line of scrimmage.
A 10-play drive that time. And in the end, it was all capped off by the Damian Williams touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Throwing again on second down. Wentz. And he slings one that's incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing now is Wentz. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darqueze Dennard. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Gostkowski the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Now Wentz on 3rd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Julian Love picks it. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. So after the INT, here's Wentz. Looking for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. Not that time for Watkins.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
A good run by Chubb on first down as he'll get about 6 yards there. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here we go. 180. Hey, forward, Tokyo. What's this up?
51's the mic.
Hey, Alpha.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wentz. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
I don't think Gurley got there. Looks like the defense held him back. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. And he's going to let it go deep. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. On first down, it's Newton. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Off the draw, here's Williams. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And he checks this one down to Williams. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And a nice little broken tackle run there by Todd Gurley, the 10th pick in the 2015 draft.
And that's what you get with him, that full package of speed, power, able to catch the ball in the backfield. Many people doubted him coming out because of the knee injury in college. They're seeing the full Todd Gurley now, and it hurts.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting at 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Down the man inside. Down the man.
Now Gurley. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously, one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Sammy Watkins, he's going to go. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his 19th touchdown now of the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
We often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Calling about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now it's Newton. And he's going to drop this off to Williams. Complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Jags 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. On first down, Newton. Over the middle, complete. It's Ward. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. Newton on first down. He finds his target, Beckham. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll run with Chubb. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Newton now to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Marquise Goodwin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Sammy Watkins and the rest of the offense getting set to go again. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D Ford, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Watch the edge. Switch.
Bunch.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. From the gun on third down, Wentz. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Dexter Lawrence in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. So we have come upon halftime. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
and I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about, in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throwing his Wentz. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 29-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Sammy Watkins with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys are back within a single score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe they'll eventually reward them.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You can't just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Ravens have retaken the lead. John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the 2-point conversion. They'll try and run it with Gurley. And he'll get into the end zone to push the lead up to a field goal. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Newton. This one into the hands of Burton. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. Yeah, Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys and continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Motion, check. Shift.
Let's go.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. Patrick Onwuasor up to make the tackle.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Here's Watkins on the jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in
Season of
December.
giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. Here's Newton. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. It's one thing to be as disruptive as he's been all year. It's another to do it as a rookie. He might not only be a candidate for Rookie of the Year.
No, don't say it. Don't say it.
Defensive Player of the Year, possibly.
Yeah, and to do that, you have to be dominant from the first snap your rookie year because, let's face it, everyone devalues rookies a little bit or makes them work harder in order to get votes. Remember Ndamukong Suh's rookie year? I mean, he was everything that season, including first-team All-Pro. That's the type of year we're seeing here.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On second and a couple. Wentz. And this is caught by Watkins. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a first down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again. And he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
Now it's Gurley. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
I got motion. Hey, Mike 51, Mike 51.
On first down, Wentz. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Now, he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now Wentz. Bryant has it. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action, and take your shot at the end zone.
Now a draw play for Gurley. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Cut.
Another carry now for Gurley. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
49, check 49, check 49.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Keep it up, guys.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Carson Wentz with touchdown pass number 4 on the afternoon as the Ravens push further out in front. Now a big play here as the Ravens are going to go for the 2-point conversion. From the gun, it's Wentz. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, All that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Left, left, left. Watch left, left, left. Watch his left.
Now a first down throw for Newton. This is caught. And he's brought down. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Again,
got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. In for the score as they have now chopped this lead down to 3.
Under review.
Newton's pass complete to number 45.
The point after try for Gostkowski.
Stephen Gostkowski for the extra point.
And the lead is down to 2. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Show it up. Check. Quick. Crash.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
This is Mostert. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. They run. It's Gurley. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason.
And look at this, another fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out, and the Jags take over in terrific field position. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. To throw again on 2nd down. Newton, they'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to have a third down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Newton. Goodwin able to haul it in. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on first and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now from the 9, here's second and goal. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And they're knocking on the door. Second and goal now in a one-score game. A run for Nick Chubb. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to third and goal. Back to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And Gostkowski's kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
Carson Wentz in the offense. Down by 1. A minute 39 to go. Back to throw. That's complete to Jake Butt. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it. But they've got to continue to move quickly.
Watch the shit. Watch the shit. Hey, watch the shit. Check green. Check green. Check green.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
They'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Jake Butt, the tight end, his intended receiver. And it's third down.
Done. 180. 40, 82, 40.
He'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 45-yard line. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
He's coming. Double up. Double up. He's coming. Double up. Check. Check. Check.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Now the timeout will be called, so they're in field goal range with 3 seconds left.
Double time. Hey, 4 down.
One final try now for Wentz. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball